Okay, all right.
Well, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Plumbers and Pipe Fitters Local 562 Training Center. Super duper proud of what we've accomplished here in the last few years to get this rolling. It'll be a year old come this April, and so a lot of things have been happening around here. We also have with us this morning our classes from, we have a second year plumbing apprentice class here and a third year pipe fitter apprentice class here. So this is a nice day, not nice outside, but nice in here because we're talking about a subject that is near and dear to all the building trades hearts, and I believe anybody that deals with building will be proud of what we're here this morning for. Prevailing wage is the most important element that you can do when building government or taxpayer-funded projects, because it brings a level playing field to everybody in the area and everybody across the United States. So I'm not going to talk much longer, but we have some nice guests here this morning with the building trades, but I want to introduce you to our county executive who has taken the ball and ran with this, and he's been through a lot in the last year with this COVID, and it hasn't been simple, but he's kept things moving, and this is one of the things that he kept moving. You know, we can't stop and just say, hey, COVID this, COVID that. We certainly got to worry about the dangers and everything else, but we have to keep our areas moving. And St. Louis County has always done a good job of making sure that their residents have the best and the brightest buildings in town. So with that, I'm going to introduce you to our county executive, Dr. Sam Page.
Thanks, John, and good morning, everyone, and thanks for being here. Labor is the backbone of our workforce and essential to ensuring a fair wage and a stable working class. I'm here today to talk about prevailing wage and the critical role it plays in making certain construction projects across the community are built with a well-qualified workforce. My administration took action early to guarantee that those who build our economy are not shortchanged for their hard work. In September of 2019, a few months after I took office, I requested legislation that would make sure that any development that received tax incentives would require that at least prevailing wage would be paid to any contractor or subcontractor on that project. The council approved that bill, and I followed that legislation by signing an executive order to create a prevailing wage enforcement coordinator. I then took a step further and successfully passed legislation unanimously by the county council, known as the Prevailing Wage Enforcement Ordinance. And this formally codifies St. Louis County's prevailing wage, including the prevailing wage coordinator, and that position is held by Jansen Thomas, who's here with us today. And I will officially sign the Prevailing Wage Enforcement Ordinance at the end of this program today. At the heart of the prevailing wage law is the conviction that government ought to use its buying power in the construction sector to make sure that we're taking care of the welfare of the workers and their families. Prevailing wage ensures a stable, well-qualified workforce that produces high-quality work. Prevailing wage laws also have increased the number of bids for state contracts across the country. They signal to good actors that they too can compete for and win government contracts. Low bids that are below market competition come at the expense of low wages for their workers, and that can lead to a less qualified workforce and an inferior project. So in addition to John O'Mara, I'm joined here today by John Stifler, Executive Secretary of St. Louis Building Trades, Jeremy Bennett, the Vice President of the Site Improvement Association, Frank Jacobs, Business Manager for IBEW Local 1. And is Brandon here? Labor's District Council for Missouri and Kansas, and Pat White, President of the Greater St. Louis Labor Council. And I'd just like to ask each one of them to make a few remarks before I sign the legislation.
Good morning, everyone. I'm John Stifler with the St. Louis Building and Construction Trades Council. Thank you to John O'Mara and 562 Plumbers and Pipe Fitters for hosting this wonderful event, and to all the distinguished guests. This local prevailing wage ordinance guarantees a robust enforcement mechanism. This ordinance gives St. Louis County the necessary tools to investigate potential violations by requiring contractors to provide certified payroll, allow access to job sites, and post notices to keep workers informed of their rights. Once again, I thank you for this wonderful event, and I believe Jeremy with the Site Improvement Association will be speaking next. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Jeremy Bennett. I'm the Executive Director of Site Improvement Association. Site advocates for all sizes of construction companies in eastern Missouri, many who perform public work construction projects. Thank you, County Executive Page, for having me here today, and your and the Council's commitment for preserving and enforcing the prevailing wage in St. Louis County. Site fought to preserve the prevailing wage when the state attempted to repeal it in 2018. The prevailing wage ensures that contractors bid on and execute public works construction contracts on a level playing field. By creating a compliance program and appointing a prevailing wage enforcement coordinator, St. Louis County is committing to ensuring taxpayer funds are appropriately paid to local construction workers, consistent with Missouri law, protecting local contractors. Studies reveal that prevailing wage laws support strong wages and benefits, promote quality work, and produces good value for taxpayers. They enhance state revenues, improve safety and reduce occupational injuries and fatalities, increase the pool and diversity of skilled construction workers. This ordinance is both fair and firm in its treatment of contractors, including balanced investigations, appeals, and strong penalties, including disbarment for the worst offenders. Once again, thank you, Dr. Page, for your commitment to protecting local contractors and including Site in the process.
Good morning. I'm Frank Jacobs, Business Manager of IBEW Local 1, St. Louis. I'd like to thank the Plumbers and Pipe Fitters for hosting this today. I'd also like to thank Dr. Page and the County Council for recognizing the advantages of having prevailing wage. Because in today's construction market, we far too often witness a race to the bottom mentality, and that's nothing short of unacceptable. Our members represent the safest, most highly skilled, and most productive workforce, and with prevailing wage, all the county projects will have that advantage. I'd like to thank him again. Thank you. Pat White from the St. Louis Labor Council is next.
Thanks, Frank. And once again, thanks, John, Brian, and the rest of the 562 staff for having us at this great facility. I also want to thank Dr. Page and the 7 bipartisan council men and women that voted for this. Regardless of what they try and do in Jefferson City to strip rights from us, we have friends. Our men and women that are out there working every day are getting what they deserve. Higher productivity lowers construction costs without lowering wages. Prevailing wage laws benefit blue-collar workers and our communities by encouraging training, lowering the rate of injuries, promoting health care coverage, minimizing disruption to labor markets, and ensuring that minority and female workers receive prevailing wages, and encouraging their participation. We look forward to working with Jansen and the rest of the county to make sure that our contractors are put on the same level playing field as the ones that come in and try and undercut the cost of these construction sites. So once again, thanks to 562, thanks to all of you for going out and working in this weather, and your brothers and sisters that are out there doing it today. Thank you.
Thank you. I'll go ahead and sign the bill here, and then I'll take any questions. So we did have a couple of questions come in from KMOV. One was an update on the, asked me for an update on relief for local businesses from any of the pandemic related expenses. St. Louis County has provided $28 million in CARES Act funding to thousands of local businesses. And we hope to have more federal funds as the current CARES package is being debated in Washington. We hope to have more federal funds available to address the pandemic needs in our community, including the effects on small businesses. We also had a question from KMOV about a vaccine update, and we are currently have received word from the state that we will be receiving at least 3,000 vaccines a week directly from the state. We have so far administered 12,500 vaccines through our County Department of Health and through our affiliates in the community, including Florissant Valley mass vaccination site in North County, and the firehouses in Eureka, Melville, Afton, and this week Pattonville has come online, and we have some more firehouses coming online soon. So we'll continue with those relationships. We hope that the vaccine supply will improve in our country and our community in the coming weeks, and we encourage everyone to get vaccinated who is now able to do so. And I'd be glad to answer any other questions.
Just, I know I got in late. Just how important the prevailing wage is for our area, for workers.
Sure. Prevailing wage makes it clear that our government is committed to making sure that our government contracts protect workers and their families. It also makes sure that when folks compete for contracts with St. Louis County, it makes sure that that they all compete on a level playing field. And if prevailing wage if we insist on prevailing wage, then we know that the work being done will be done by well-trained, high-quality workers that will produce a good product. So what this bill does is it requires any developer who receives incentives for a project in St. Louis County to pay at least prevailing wage to all the subcontractors and contractors on that project. Any other questions? Okay, thanks for coming out.